Bob, the Pirates are coming off a little bit of a tough stretch where we had some games canceled, and then we weren't sure exactly if we were going to be able to play this past weekend. But you were able to get down to Pacific and play a pair of games, and you split with the Boxers. Give us your recap of how things went in Forest Grove.
Yeah, I was really excited about what I got to see in the game. From our limited week of preparation, we decided to not really dumb things down, but just to go kind of simple in some areas. We have not been playing phenomenal defense, and we knew we were going to have some people out of position, and so we went in just that mode of how we needed to over-communicate and be as good as we could defensively. Most weekends we're thinking bats, just to throw some of the strategy out there. But this past weekend we went in thinking, let's communicate. Let's really make sure that this culture that we've been trying to create of a leader-led, open communication type team, that we saw that on the weekend, because Pacific's a really good program, and we knew we needed to go down regardless of how many days we had to practice and execute some of the small things. And I was really excited about how they performed. I mean, we came out of the weekend and the box scores, it only shows one error. It was just a really well played game 1 and 2. I mean, these were good softball games. And that makes me excited for really both programs, because we've all been going through some of the same things, the start, the stop, the losing of players. So to see good softball, that's really what we needed. And, to say we're disappointed that we didn't get to is something that is sticking with us, but really excited about the way we played. And now to get everybody back this week, while we won't have a full week of practice with everyone, we like what we're seeing right now.
You referenced it. You only had 1 day of practice last week. The program was on a 10-day hiatus. So when everyone's back and practicing, are you picking up where you left off, or are you kind of having to restart kind of from scratch again?
Yeah, we move on. I really do. We really try to make sure that we're hammering home some of the details we've been driving throughout the season overall. But then each week we're in the game plan for that week, for that team. So we have to move on. Yesterday, so that would have been our first day of practice. This week would have been Tuesday. And to start that, we talked about Pacific, we talked about the previous week, and now we move on. So I think to restart and go back to square one would be super difficult. With the sun being out and getting good weather and the feeling that we're going to be getting games, it's exciting just to move on. And then really more than anything, Steve, it's been fun to watch these ladies individually grow. Some of them start to get their confidence back from the start-stop. Pitchers especially, I think that's more difficult for them. I think we've got one of the great pitchers in our conference, and seeing Drea gain that confidence and see how she's kind of breathing that confidence into the rest of the team. Those are fun things that we don't want to move back. We want to continue to move forward with.
Assuming everything goes according to plan, Pirates finally get to play at home this weekend against Pacific Lutheran, the first of 2 consecutive home weekends. Tell us about the Lutes. What do they do well? What challenges will they present?
Yeah, this isn't just coach speak. They're the next best team on our schedule. The way our schedule is working out, I mean, that's the next team that's going to give us a lot of competition and really help set the rest of the year for us. We know every team's trying to battle to be one of those top 4 teams. And they just came out of, just like Pacific did, they went through Linfield and they went through George Fox, which I have kind of thought would be 2 of the top teams. And they want to right their ship as well. So I think this is going to be an outstanding weekend of good softball. And for us just to be at home is a big deal. I mentioned it before. We have 17 kids on our program that have never played on our home field. Everyone else has been since 2019. So we're super excited, and we'd be very disappointed with ourselves with everything that's in front of us. We're very open about a lot of this stuff. If we don't come out and perform well, then that makes the rest of this season difficult. So we know what's in front of us. They've got a really good senior pitcher. I think they're a lot like us in many ways. Not necessarily a power team, but they do a lot of little things very well.